Hi everybody, and welcome back to Callsign Charlie models for the P2V-7 Neptune build from Jetmads. So today we're starting out with part one. First I want to start off with, if you watched the inbox review, you saw how the mid section aft fuselage was shattered. I did email Jetmads. I'm waiting on a reply back from them, but I was able to get it pieced together. I mean, it works. It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of putty and sanding, and then I don't know how I'm going to add all these small rivets. I know how to add rivets for 135th aircraft and up, but yeah, it's going to take some work. There's a couple pieces that I couldn't find to replace, so I put some plastic card on the back and I'll put some putty in there to fill in those holes. But hopefully Jetmads gets back to me and they'll ship me a new back piece, because it's going to be a lot of work for that. But for part one, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go through the first few steps, removing the some of these parts in here, and then we'll get through 1, 2, 3. We'll get to the point where we're done with the cockpit and ready for paint. Then I'm going to paint everything. Once I get to step 16, I'm going to paint everything, and then we'll assemble everything and then move on to the midsection, bomb bay and such. Probably work that way through where we get the midsection done, paint it, and then move on to the next section. So starting, we gotta get this section out. We gotta cut out this window, this area, this window, and the same on the other side. So start with that. Alright, so now we got all the little inserts cut out for the windows and the wing roots. So got that done on the center fuselage and the nose, these two windows, and this part was done for me when the piece shattered. So again, hoping to hear back from Jetmads in the next. I sent them an email yesterday, so we'll see how long it takes for them to get back to me. Also cut off the inserts for the windows and the instructions, and on here you can see you can have the windows at the top open. So I think I am going to do that, so that way you can see everything inside the cockpit. That's going to really help with that. Alright, we're back, and we got the front section base paint all done using the MRP Dark Gall Gray FS 36231 MRP 100. I sprayed that on all the parts, minus the parts that are the matte black, which were the Canopy frame, and one of the boxes, the control yokes. And that was it for the super matte black that was sprayed. We're gonna come back and we're going to brush paint and detail paint some of the control panels and such with NATO black, either AK or the Tamiya paint. I don't know which one I'm going to use yet. We'll find out. I'm thinking more of the Tamiya NATO black for that. Then I painted the front nose section aluminum. I got some detail painting with some piping and wiring to come in there with some other colors. But after that, we're gonna put some wash on it and get it nice and grungy, and that will look real good with the mirror. So first we're going to start off with the seats. They call for orange cushions. Doing some research last night with Google Images, I found multiple different colors. Excuse me. So we'll get the seat cushions done. The way I'm going to do it is when I'm working with one color, I'm just going to go through all the parts with that color that need it, and then we'll move on to the next color, and then the next color, and the next color. So I'll be back after I'm done with the orange, and we'll move on from there. Alright, so we got the seat cushions done with the AK orange right here, RC009 for this color. Oranges, we'll come back later on and get the seat belts and the armrest done. But up next we got the NATO black for all the switch panels. Sorry, I drew a blank on what the word was. We're going to be using Tamiya NATO black XF69 for these. We're just going to come in, brush paint those. Maybe some of the wiring on the bulkhead for this piece right here, and some of the wiring and boxes on this piece right here. And then of course on this, the switch panels on this piece are all going to get black, and then we'll come back in and highlight the switches with some aluminum and a different shade of black and all that. And then same with this side panel, get some black on it. And then with the hoses, we'll do some faded olive drab for those hoses, and then some switch panel faces on this. So be back in a second when those are all done, and then we'll move on to the next. So finished off the painting for everything, the brush painting for the front section. So now up next is we're going to clear coat everything, and then we'll do the panel line wash. But got the curtain with the olive drab, and then some wiring done as well on this piece. Done. Forward nose gear, well painted, detailed. Get that panel line wash in there, kind of grunge it up a little bit, and it's gonna look really good. A lot of detail in there with the piping and such. The floor just plain right now, no detail added to it. Forward observer, bulkhead and floor, no detail on the floor, but on the bulkhead there's a lot of wiring and such. Painted all that. Nice about the 3D print is it is separate from the wall. It's not molded into the wall, so it sticks out even more. One part of this kit that I'm not happy with, and not the kit, my work, is the seats. I'm not too happy with the paint. I should have airbrushed the seat cushions first, and then the seat belts, and done that all separate, and then attached everything after airbrushed it. I think it would have looked a lot better. The center control panel, let's see if it will focus. And the overhead control panel with the control levers and all the switches and such. Couldn't find many pictures online, so I kind of took a liberty of the colors for everything. So got that done. Then up next, like I said, we're going to put a gloss. All right, so we got everything on the front section. Got the panel liner on that, so we're letting that dry for a few hours, and then we'll come up and do some cleanup on some of the
parts that need some cleanup. I got the decal on the front instrument panel and hit that with some Walther Solvaset, and I am not going to touch it until it's completely dry, and it's looking like I might have to apply another coat of the Solvaset. So while we're waiting for that, went ahead and sawed off the canopy from the casting block right here. Starting off, it's looking pretty good, but I am going to go ahead and give it a quick polish, and we'll run through that process real quick using the Tamiya polishing compounds. So we're going to start off with the coarse and the pink rag that comes with it, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a couple dots on the glass, just around, maybe. There we go. This one's getting low. We got that, and then I'm just going to wrap it around my finger like so. Get a nice little, try to get a clean part of the rag. I need to wash this rag off again, but alright, so got that, and then we're just gonna rub it in. All we're doing is we're rubbing this in. It's the coarse one, so it's getting out all the little nooks and crannies. It's going to look rougher before it gets better. You just have to trust the process. You'll hear me say that a lot, because sometimes it will look really bad, and you just have to keep on going through the process to get the end product. So just keep on going. And by the way, the stuff does not taste good. Tried to lick it to spread it a little bit easier because it was acting a little dry, but okay, so that's the first stage done. I'm gonna get a quick swig of a drink to get that taste out of my mouth. Ugh, did not taste good at all. So do not recommend licking the rag while you do that, because even the soda didn't completely knock that taste out. So next we're going in with the Tamiya Compound Fine. And then with the blue rag that comes with the kit, wrapped around the finger, just doing small circular motions. Oh yeah, that's looking really good. Put a little bit too much here, but we'll get it. the excess. Yep, I got it on the inside. We'll have to do the inside too. After I'm done with this one, we'll knock off the inside. That's it for the fine compound. Do a canopy in about 2 to 3 minutes, 4 minutes, depending on the size of it and how bad it is. So next finally we're going through the Tamiya finish. So come in here, same thing, just dropping a little bit on the windows. And then we'll use the white polishing cloth for this one. Same thing, wrap it around the finger. Then we're just gonna small circular. Then the front windows. Thing is, this kit did not come with masks, but luckily the windows all look like they have square corners, so they shouldn't be too bad. There's no crazy bends or anything to them, so we're just gonna, after everything's attached, we'll go in and mask it. Sometimes you have to go through this process multiple times to get the canopy to the area, to the shyness that you want. Alright, and then after that's all done, I'm going to come in with my Infinity 4000 grit polishing stick. So I'm just going to deal with that sound. The squeaking has notified Charlie. So that's it for the polishing the canopy. think looks pretty good. I think when it's all on, it's gonna look even better. So get that. Shows how good the fit is on this canopy piece to the front. You're not gonna need any filler or anything. It's perfect. I mean, as perfect as you can get. Hit it up with this real quick. Okay. So up next, we got some cleanup of the panel liner, and then we're going to matte coat everything, and then we start the assembly of the front section. After that's done, we're moving on to the midsection, which isn't too much, but once the front section is done, that will be the end of part 1, and then the midsection will be the start of part 2. So I'll be back in a second to start assembly of the front section. Okay, and we're back ready for the assembly of the forward observer's deck. So matte coat is on, everything's ready. I got a few little dog hairs to remove. One of the benefits of having a golden retriever, you get hair everywhere. Even if they don't come in here, somehow hair gets in here. So that's something I'm always battling with, is golden retriever hair. So getting everything ready, got all the parts for this first step. We got our electronics bin and hoses, the seat, little radio box, and then the cockpit deck and the landing gear well. So that's all done. So we're gonna go ahead and get this stuff added to it, and then we'll attach it to the cockpit deck, and then we start working on everything else. I am not left-handed, so I don't know why I tried to do that left-handed. Let's get you back on camera. Adding super glue to the connection points. That's looking so far. Okay, and then getting the deck attached to the front. Right here, and then we're going to spread it. Tight for a minute. Should be good. All right, perfect. Right. All right, so next step is to attach it into the forward section, which fits in here really nice with the landing gear. I did a test fit earlier. We'll do another one just to make sure nothing changed. So just slide right in there. There you go. Boom. Almost a click fit. Just attached to. Pull that back out. Soup glue on the bottom of this. Got that section in. Add a little bit of glue right in here and then clamp down the deck so it fits on the floor. Just holding this for a second. Need more. Hold that down. Again, don't want to use accelerator because we got a lot of little lumps and bumps and boxes to put in here next. So just holding this down, letting the glue do its job. Okay. So the nose section, the main part of the nose section's in. You'll actually be able to see a good amount of it. through it. Got a little hair right there. Alright. So now here comes the fun part of all the little bits that go into this. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to do this off camera because I'm going to need to have my head and optivisor on, and I'm going to need to be up close and personal with this so I can see where I'm putting the stuff. So I'll be back in a second. Alright, I'm back and got the bits added, the lumps and bumps. There's only one piece I could not add, and it was this little piece right here, and that is because it was supposed to get tucked in back behind this electronics panel right in here. And two problems: I can't find the connection point for it, and even if I could, I don't think I could get, even if with my bent tweezers, I don't think I could get back there to do it. So the front section is all done. Add a little light to this. Like I said, at the end of part 1, I'll include some still shots of it for some better detail. But the nose section is done. I'm going to take a couple quick shots before I put on the nose glass. Then after the nose glass is on, we start working on the flight deck. And then after that, I mean, there's only a few more parts to add, and the front section will be done. So, be back in 1 second. Alright, so nose section, the forward observer area is done and glass is attached. Glass fit, not so good. I don't know if it was a short shot or what, but there's going to be a gap to fill there, and then some sanding and then repolishing of the windows because I could not get them to sit flush. So we're going to take care of that at the very end when we're doing all the sanding and putty of the whole kit. And hopefully there's not much, but I'm just going to probably use some perfect putty in there to fill that gap right there. So right in there, there's a nice little gap. I don't know if the camera will show it, but I mean, there's glass behind it, so we don't have to worry about getting into the work. And even though I polished this, it has a magnifying aspect to it. So when you look into it, it's kind of like, just doesn't look right, but it'll do. And once it's all done, I'll probably put some future on it, repolish it again, and go from there. So coming up next, we're working on the canopy top. So we're going to be adding in the overhead hinge or overhead instrument panel, and the front instrument panel and the rudder pedals. The instructions call for us to put on the canopy and then slide in the seats and the side consoles after that's all done, but I think I'm going to do it a little bit reversed, and I'm going to put in all the internals in here and then put on the cockpit glass. So I think that's going to make adding everything a lot easier and less stressful. So first, we're just going to start off, work our way from the top up. So move everything off to the side that we don't need for now. Again, perfect fit on that. It's gonna look really good when it's done. at the glue. Clicked right in the spot. I'll hold that for a second so it can set. Get that set, and then the dashboard. Decal on the dashboard looks pretty good when it's all done. Used Walther's solve set on it, and then came back with the it wasn't setting all the way, so I came back with some microsol. The red bottle, doused a Q-tip in it, and then came back in and then rolled it over, and then it sunk right in. So instructions call for this to go. Try to get this to fit right. Some nice locator tabs right in there. Luckily I didn't break anything when that happened. Come in here, apply super glue. Sure everything's fitting right. After this we got these rudder pedals. I do like how they set these up. The back of the instrument panel has these square blocks that you just put in, and we're just going to drop the rudder pedals right onto those. So I'm going to make sure that they're facing the right direction too before we put them on. One side done. And last one. Of course, the last one wants to fight the most. the side panels in, or side control panels in. Next up, we'll do the center control panel. This was super glue. Alright, let's get these control yokes attached. So now we just have the seats. Luckily you're not going to be able to see that little dab of glue that I messed up. Let that sit there for a second. Sit on these rails. Alright, so the flight deck is done. Again, I'll take pictures of these and add them to the end of the video. Alright, so now we're adding these two pieces together. So I'm going to add the super glue to the top right here, and that's ready. I don't know if you heard that clip in. It literally clipped into place. Framing looks centered. Alright. So, moment of truth. We know it fit without the canopy or the instrument panels and stuff. Let's see how it fits with it. Got that side down. Both sides are down. Alright, so the test fit is done. So we're adding glue to the inside along here where the recesses are for the part. Alright, hopefully this goes as well as the first attempt. This side's down. There we go. Add some glue in that notch, and then force this down a little bit, pull it forward. Still, one nice thing about having these the emergency hatches open is it kind of gives you an extra grip place for helping secure everything in place and letting the glue dry. Get a good solid grip on it. Holding out, we're going to do a test fit. There we go. There we go. And get that. It's supposed to sit just like that. We're just going to glue this into place right here. Just going to let the super thin super glue do some capillary action. I hate that word, by the way. And so that will be glued into place. Make sure this back deck is lined up like so, in the correct spot. Alright, so the front nose section is done. We're all pretty happy with it. Just some minor fit details. Like I said, it could have been me, it could have been the kid. Don't know. Because you sand and remove stuff, and sometimes you sand and remove too much, and that's it. So again, a little bit of like filler right along here. I mean, that's being nitpicky on your filler. These areas are definitely going to need some sanding and putty, especially this right here. But other than that, the nose gear bay was a perfect fit. So I'm gonna take some pictures of it, and then that will be the end of part 1. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit the bell button for reminders of when I post new content. I got a little bit more to add right here, but so yeah, until next time, which will be part 2, we will be working on the bomb bay and center fuselage area, which isn't much. It's the bomb bay, the sonar or radar dome, the wing struts, and some glass work, and then that's it for the center section. So alright, well, until next time, stay frosty, my friends.